The split is done, and the timeline is firm. Timeline is open. We are on it. If you're hearing this message, you're on the right timeline. You're there. But when I was 4, my family was in a car accident, and I had a near-death experience. And I was taken out of my little body. I saw my personal guardian angels, 2 of them, and they said, "We're taking you back home." They took me home. I went to the Seraphim realm, and they said, "This is where you're from." And parts of the timeline, who would be president, who would be emperor, who would be czar, when there would be a flood, things like that. Dog. So when you ask, where is the angelic realm? How do you get there?
I wanted to know, what is the difference between archangels, guardian angels, and...
So when you're using the number 8, it's like you're sending out the bat signal, and your personal guides will then decide who is best for you at that moment to assist your guardian angels for you. Could be an archangel.
But that means that your manifestation also must be instant.
Oh, yes. Yes. I work with Loosh. I work with you.
Hi, this is Akanksshaa. If you're new here, please subscribe to my channel. If you resonate with me, please like, comment, and share. Welcome to Multidimensional Soul Podcast and a Talk Show. We have with us today Rachel Corpus, who is Angel Incarnate, as an actual angel in human form. A very warm welcome, Rachel, on Multidimensional Soul Talk Show and Podcast. It's an honor to have you here.
Oh, the honor is mine and ours, all of us from the Angelic Realm. Thank you for having me and us on your show.
Thank you. And this is the first time we are having an angel in human form, so very excited for this. And she is going to keep the channel open throughout this session. So it's a conscious channel, and all her answers are going to come through channeling. So it's a very special session. Thank you.
My pleasure. We love to play. This is so playful for us and for me. A great life.
Yeah. Yeah. So I had always heard from my childhood that angels don't actually incarnate on earth. And, and it is like ascended masters who have had many lifetimes, hundreds or thousands of lifetimes here, and then they ascend. But angels actually don't incarnate. So you have a very different story. So can you tell us, how do you know that you are an angel in human form? How did you know it? When was the first time? And how has your journey been since that?
I really love your description of how the ascended masters ascend, and that is correct. And I honor them. They are my mentors. I continue to learn from them. They often tap my shoulder and say, "Hey, little one, we would like to teach you this today on your journey." They are, I speak to Kuan Yin and the Buddha and his cousin Ananda. In fact, Ananda visited me in my bedroom a couple nights ago and said, "May I just step into your body for a few moments?" and crawled right into my bed and scared the heck out of my husband.
Wow.
Always with me. But I'll tell you, I was a typical psychic spiritual toddler child, having experiences, being able to see spirit in my mind's eye and in my parents' garden, in my bedroom. I was having that type of experience, which I know a lot of your listeners will resonate with. But when I was 4, my family was in a car accident, and I had a near-death experience. And I was taken out of my little body, and the angels that I had been seeing, I grew up Catholic in this lifetime. And so when my parents were going to mass on Sundays, I really went for the music and the beautiful architecture and the windows. And I would look up at the ceiling and I would see all of these angels dancing around and waving at me. And so when I had this out of body experience or near death experience, really, I saw them again and they were saying, come on, we have a little time together. I saw my personal guardian angels, two of them, and they said, we're taking you back home. I had two voices in my mind. One was my little girl, 4-year-old voice, this voice, and then this voice that you're hearing now. And it surprised me. Who's this old lady speaking? And they said, oh, that's you. That's your consciousness. That's the voice that never leaves. That is your God voice. Now, as I speak to you now, there's a lot of ego in here because I'm in the human body for now in my human tailored coat. But at that point, I had not heard my grown-up voice yet. I was like, who's this lady? Who's the grown-up? Is she nice? They said, just go with it. And I'll tell you, this is also why I remember that near-death experience so well, because I had my adult consciousness with me. They took me home. I went to the Seraphim realm and they said, this is where you're from. And as an angel, when you wish to be in a cozy physical form, or when we need you to be in a physical form, this is where you keep your stuff. This is where you do the work. And I saw my locker. I saw my desk. I saw my coworkers. I saw all the unborn babies, all the stuff that we do in the Seraphim realm. And they reminded me of the mission that I was given before I came to Earth. And at some point we talked about the choice. Could I stay there? I could. Could I go back? Either way, my mission would be completed. And my memory after that is not really making the choice to come back. My 4-year-old self remembered my mama and how sad she'd be if I didn't come back. And then at that point, I went whoosh right back into my body. And I came back with my gifts, I would say, amplified, and remembering the gist of what my mission was, although I've had several meetings with them throughout my life. And also they told me how the world would blossom, I'll say blossom. And that, if I could say that in a less cryptic, angelic way, parts of the timeline. Who would be president? Who would be emperor? Who would be czar? When there would be a flood, things like that. And how to help. What specific prayers or light codes to download at a certain time. How things would be and how things would look versus how they really are. And in regards to your question about can an angel actually be on Earth? Yes. But think of us, we're pure messengers. We're like I always admired the janitors when I was a school teacher for a while. And I always admired the janitors because they're the ones that really ran the school. If you needed anything, you found the janitors. They'd been there forever. They knew everyone. They knew every child and what was going on at their houses. You found the custodians. We're like the custodians. We know the inner workings of the earth and heaven, and we have the gritty messages. There are different types of angels. My certain type of angel, if you were to unzip my physical body and look in, I'm pure angel inside. The way I got here was they helped me find the most perfect mom and dad that would serve my purposes and would help me learn. And also I could benefit that group of ancestors. So I was born through a mom and dad like everybody else, but my inner workings, I'm pure angel. Now, that's different than being an earth angel. An earth angel is someone who their ancestry long ago, one parent is human, the other parent is angel. And that comes from the age of Enoch, when some of the angels fell in love with humans and they created a breed of half human, half angels. So we have those still that walk the earth as well. And then there's archangels. So that's how I'm here. And I wanted to say there aren't many of us, and then I got corrected. They said, yes, there are, Rachel. Yes, there are. Just because, see, sometimes my ego will come in. Just because I don't know them doesn't mean there aren't many here. There are many because it's the time. It's the time for all the helpers to be here. And many of them are being born and having a story much like mine, but they won't need to have a near-death experience to wake up. They're coming in awake. How lovely. We don't need trauma to wake us up anymore.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So you talked about some types of angels, Earth Angel, and you said Seraphim. Can you describe like how are angels there? Because I've heard different categories. I've heard about archangels, and especially Archangel Michael, Metatron, Raphael. I felt their presence, and so we know different types of angels. Then we know about guardian angels. But what is the exact difference, and which dimension are you from?
Ooh, I like the dimension question. I think in our human brains, we always like to think about neighborhoods and dimensions as places, but really it's a density. It's a vibration. So I'm from the vibration. I'm from the God vibration. I'm from the love vibration, which is a cool question you asked, because guess what? That's where we're all from. So when people think of angels, we're not religious. We're not assigned to any religion. There is actually, dare I say, there's no religion. We've created all of the religions on earth to serve us. Our consciousness has created all these different books and maps to help us remember who we are as one and to remember the God source. But angels, we're from the density of love. So it's not a location, but if you want to get there, it's opposite, right? It's not a location, but however, if you want to get there, you gather the vibrational frequency of purest love, ecstasy, delight, but you don't leave out realism. You don't bypass real feelings, because angels get to feel it all, because it's our job. We transmute. So what I noticed about the angelic realm is, if we want a chili dog, we're going to eat that chili dog, but we might not have a stomach ache after. It's like we have both. And if we have the tummy ache, we'll ask each other, well, how does this tummy ache serve us? We have all of it, but we sure have that delicious chili dog. So when you ask, where is the angelic realm? How do you get there? Everything isn't, you go there inside. You go into a meditation and you say, okay, I'm going to first feel whatever I'm presented. What do I feel in my field? I'm going to feel it in safety and in love. And I get to that first. Breathe it in, transmute it, and then invite the love of the angelic realm to come to you. Invite it. And then do your very best to have all of the angels sit with you. It's not totally your job to go there. Invite them. It's a meeting. It's collaboration. And when you can be with that vibe, then look behind your eyelids. Go into your imagination part of your brain, and then that's how you go to that density. And you'll actually feel your body seemingly levitate. You could lay flat on your bed. You could sit lotus pose. That's the best way, because where we are now, we have made up the idea that this is a physical, real place. It's not. It's really not. And so when you go to dimensions or densities like the angelic realm, even though when I'm there, we can create physical things like the chili dog. What a weird example. It's not physical, and this earth is not physical either. So the more we can bring in that love, you can get out of this physical density and feel the angelic realm more, and all of the attributes, the colors, the music will start to filter into you. I forgot the beginning of your question.
Yeah. I wanted to know what is the difference between archangels, guardian angels, and Seraphim, where you're from. So, can you just talk a little bit about that? And as you rightly said, that they are not just in Christianity. Actually, in Hinduism also there are some references of angels, and I believe they're across all religions. It's just that through Christianity they got more popular, probably across the world. But I would love to know about
That
the
makes
different
sense.
types in detail.
Okay, so guardian angels, they are assigned to souls, and they are assigned to those souls forever. So when a tree is created, that tree has a guardian, and that's their partnership for the length of the tree's existence. When a soul decides to be a soul, when God creates a soul, a person, they have a guardian, sometimes more than one. So that guardian angel and that soul, that's their guardian. That's their whole job. And then there are worker angels who have names, but I typically know them not to really care about what their names are. And sometimes guardian angels don't care either. The worker angels will be assigned to a building being built, or every physical, everything on Earth or other planets. Everything has an angel assigned to it. Even a cardboard box has an angel assigned to it. Everything has a watcher, an angel assigned to it. So those are worker angels. There's just an unlimited amount, legions of angels. Then we have the archangels, and they have the energy of the ascended masters. They know a lot. They are kind of know-it-alls sometimes, but they're also really funny. Don't get in the game of Trivial Pursuit with them. Don't play Jeopardy with them. Don't play Wheel of Fortune. They'll always win. They won't let you win. Just don't. Don't. Don't play trivia. But they are not limited to time and space. They are for everyone. So if you and I were in separate places and we both needed the assistance of Archangel Michael, he can fractal just like your son does. He can be with me and you at the same time. He's like, deal, Mom, I got it. And he's eating something delicious over there, helping you, helping me, no problem. Archangels are the same way because they're at that frequency of love. Son just froze us up for a second because he just like went, thanks for bringing me in. And then our call went, and then it came back on. Poor booger.
Yeah, I saw that.
So yeah, archangels, and it seems like when we talk about archangels, they're the top, but like in the hierarchy, but all the angels, we really strive to have equality. So as a seraphim, at any time I could say to the cherub realm, I could say, can I be with you for a while? Oh, sure, come on. You could have, I could go there and live with them and it'd be no big deal because we want to know what everybody else is doing. We want to appreciate that. So there's a level of dominions where the rules are made. And so, for example, I know in the Christian Bible, the golden rule, and that shows up in a lot of other sacred texts as well. That's from the level of dominion. And even though it was written a long time ago, in the level of dominion, we watch over that rule and make sure that it's not, so if somebody stretches that rule and tries to make it yucky, and make it bend to their will, then angels from the level of dominion would be sent to that situation. And they would watch over that and speak into people's ear because, in human form, we have free will and we can do some wild things with that. But the angels of dominion would be sent in to say, hey, that's not how that rule was written. We're here to help guide you to the best of their ability. So yeah, there are different levels. It's quite fascinating.
Yeah, it is. My son always says that the dimensions are not really locations, they're vibrational spaces. So
Yes.
you move in and out of those every single day, essentially,
Yes.
till you establish yourself at a certain frequency. Yeah.
That's right. He's completely right. And in our human bodies, we are in a different frequency when we sleep. And so when we wake up, sometimes it's weird for us to get back into our awake frequency because we have been in our heavenly frequency
Yeah.
when we travel so easily. And we wake up and like, oh, where am I? Well, and some people think, oh gosh, I'm back. Now I got to go to work now. That was so easy.
That's true, because that astrally, when we travel, that realm is high up and it's much more lighter. And when you come here, it's so dense. The vibration
Yeah.
is dense. So, do you
Yes.
remember when you astral travel to your angelic realm and come back? Do you have like family there? Do you have?
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit
Yes.
about that?
Yes. I go there daily, actually. It's part of my job. So sometimes I've been there for longer retreats. So I've had out of body experiences where I've, gone for a couple of days. Those are mildly unpleasant because, I've had the flu or something and I've slept for a couple of days. In order to not have that happen, what I do is I make sure that I go into meditations every day where I can go and have my meetings with my family, my mentor in the angelic realm. And so when I was developing my gifts purposefully, so we have talent and then we have skill. So I had natural talent, but it was going everywhere and kind of scaring me, honestly. So what I did was I said to God, all right, if we're going to do this on purpose, could you please begin to show me the path? And one of the things that God showed me was daily meditations where I could quiet my, not my mind, because my mind is always everywhere. And so I've just learned to embrace that, but quiet my spirit. And the way I quiet my spirit is through breath. And I notice that when I breathe, that I can make my breath tune into the frequency of heaven, like I'm creating a phone call. And that's what I do every day. I sit and I first tune into what feels like the frequency of earth. We're used to that. So I start with my normal breath. And then I notice that my breath changes, like the rhythm of my breath, because I'm starting to go into what heaven feels like. And see, everybody actually knows what this feels like because it feels like peace when we're at peace. People know, you remember this because we were there before we were born, but also there are times every night when we sleep that we're there. So if people can just remember one time in their life, just a sliver of when you had no worries, you felt safe and taken care of, and just pull that back into your system and breathe it in, you can connect to the heavenly realm or another lifetime. Or if you know you're a star seed, go to that, your ancestors there. You can connect to it to breath. So that's what I do every day. And then I look behind my eyelids, the quantum, the black behind my eyelids with a sleep mask on, and I watch it like virtual reality. I usually have some music in my ears without music or white noise or beach. I love water. And then I just watch. I watch when the meeting starts. Sometimes what I see behind my eyelids is like a light show or stars. Sometimes I actually tunnel and they take me to the heavenly realm and I go into an office that looks kind of like my office, but it's all white marble, beautiful lights. It depends on the day. I don't think it's them. I think it depends on my level of frequency. I'm pretty sure, but that's what I do. So I tap into it every day and I just go in with no expectations and a heart of receiving.
When you talked about your family there, so do you have like kids over there? And how do you then balance when you go there and come back, and then being here in such dense vibration, how do you balance that?
I have parents there. I don't miss them. It's strange because as an angel, I do have an ego here, but it's not the same quality of ego, I don't think, because I don't grieve them. I don't miss them in the same way, and they're so present. And they're not my guardian angels. They are, and they're not. It's strange, I think, to hear that you're equals with your parents, but as an angel, you are. And I've known them since God began, and I can't wrap my mind around that. It's just we've always been. We've always been. So seeing them, it just is. And I have an understanding that this life that I'm in when I come back to Earth, it's so quick. I'm so excited to come back into my body because I want to be here for every second that I can be. I'm so excited. I love this Earth. I love the life that I've created. And not every day is easy. I mean, I experience depression. I experience things with my body. I experience the human things because that's why I'm here. And if I didn't have trauma in my background and current things I'm working on, I don't think I could help other people. I don't think that I would understand this world. So I have the issues that a typical human has. And also, I don't feel the whoosh of a frequency change when I come back in because my personal frequency doesn't change. My frequency stays the same. So it's just walking from this room is air conditioned, this room is hot, but I stay the same.
Okay, quite interesting. You talked about incarnating here for doing the work. But what happens is when we incarnate on Earth, everybody accumulates karma and then gets into this karmic cycle and many, many incarnations of, and then there is this cycle of birth and death. So, do you have any parallel lifetimes on Earth and in other star systems, or is this the only incarnation that you have?
This is my 7th incarnation on planet Earth. I have several incarnations on other planets, and I don't have a karmic buildup as an angel, but I do have responsibility. If I have what's called instant karma. So if I were to say a lie to you, if I were to say, I can't do this interview because I'm sick, but I wasn't really sick, something like that, well, then immediately someone would do that to me in my day. Yeah, instant. It's instant for me. It doesn't pile up to the next lifetime.
Wow. But that means that your manifestation also must be instant.
Oh, yes. Yes. I work with Loosh. I work with the energy of Loosh, which we all do, which is the God energy, and it's instant.
Okay. So can you talk a little bit about that? Because a lot of people are interested in manifestation. They know about law of attraction and they practice so many manifestation techniques or law of attraction techniques, but still they're not able to manifest. And there are delays in the manifestation in 3D. When you are actually manifesting from the higher level, that is from the level of 5D, then the manifestation is instant because there is no time space constraint there. But that is difficult when you are in the human forms and you are able to do that. So can you just talk about that?
Yes, I'm channeling a little bit, so I'm just going to listen for a moment. Well, I'd like to define Loosh. Loosh is God energy that is constantly flowing. And we create Loosh. We create it. And Mama Earth creates Loosh with positive energy. And that doesn't, there's the realm is saying that doesn't mean that we always need to be hugging each other. It's not that. It just means the opposite of killing. So when the earth is producing, when something is growing, and when we choose to be kind, and when we listen, when something is producing, it looshes. That is loosh. And the image that they create is a constant waterfall that never ends. And when the loosh is spent, it replenishes. But it doesn't just replenish with what was spent. Infinity replaces it. So compared to a bank account, if someone with limiting beliefs about money, they might believe that if I have this amount of money and when I spend it, it's gone. And then to replenish my bank account, I have to work so hard. I have to pray. And if I'm worthy, God will give me that money back. And let's take it a step further. People in the healing profession might have even been told, I shouldn't be charging much for this or charging at all. And the helping should be payment enough. Who am I? Or, gosh, they're going to think I'm a charlatan if I charge for this. There's so many limiting beliefs. So we're not treating our money like energy. We're not treating it like loosh that replenishes itself. And this is God energy. The money energy has become ego energy. It's become blocked. And so what we get to do is anything that we are not treating energetically like God energy, like loosh, we talk to it and we retrain it. So this is what we would do. We would take our money. Okay, here's a check I have from someone. And we would say, dear one, so our money has a consciousness. Dear one, we haven't talked in a while. I want you to know first, I appreciate you. Do you need anything from me? And then sit with that. Because every time we talk to this friend, we're asking it for something or we're stressing it out. There's never enough of you. Every time I need you, you're not there. Every time you send me something, it's a bill. Ugh, I don't want to look at you. But you're not enough. So we say, what do you need from me? And what I hear consciously from money is, I need a break. So what we're going to say to the money is, listen, my love, I want you to watch Loosh and start doing what Loosh is doing. Emulate Loosh. That's all you need to do. I am sorry if I gave you the wrong directions. That's my fault. I apologize and I love you. Train with Loosh. And now I'm going to tuck you in and you get a break. Then you take the check or the money and you literally tuck it in your bed. Give it a rest. Tuck it in like a toddler. And in that hour, you don't pay a bill, you don't budget, you don't spend anything. There's no money related. What you could do is you could drink a cup of tea and really hold it. Make that your tea meditation. Don't drink a tea and do something else. No. Bring abundance into your body with something warm. And then what your money is doing is you're creating it to be your most sacred employee and giving money a retreat so she can watch her trainer, Loosh, tell her this is how it's done. When money goes out, it instantly replenishes because we are loved that much. So that's it. And you could do it with health. You could do it with relationships. Oh, gosh, every time I need someone, they're not there. Okay, then say to the energy of your friends. Okay, energy of my friends. Angels, I want you to talk to my soulmates, those who are meant to be my friends. Tell all of them, tell their egos, tell their higher selves to watch the energy of Loosh and start to behave that way. This is my prayer. And so it is. Be for any part of your life or all of your life, but that's the energy of Lush. And see, if we can start to manifest from that place that has faith, it is spiritual and mystical because that's what we're made of. And it doesn't have all these, I mean, this has steps to it because it's fun and it starts to personify money in a different way. But really manifesting doesn't need to have 12 steps, 3 steps. It's an idea. It brings it back into alignment with who we are.
Yeah.
That's how
Wow.
I do it.
Yeah, quite powerful. This is the first time I heard about Loosh. How do you spell it?
Loosh. Loosh.
Okay, Loosh. Amazing. I have always seen synchronicities and angel numbers when the manifestation is there, like 1111 or 333 444. And there are certain angel numbers that are very peculiar if you want to call certain angels. So, can you talk a little bit about that and guide us as to if you want to call any angel, what number should we call? Is there any way to chant? And what is the significance of angel numbers?
We love to utilize numbers to pull in our frequency and give humans a little tap on the shoulder. Hey, we're here. When you see 4s, 4, that's a nudge that you have your archangels around you. There's archangels around. And so when you see that, that's the archangel realm saying, we're around, pull us in. When you see 4s, that's usually Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel, even Metatron will come in. Those are they're saying, like the Avengers, those are your big ones coming in. Those are when you see the 4, those are your hard hitters.
We all love Avengers, yes.
They're showing me that when you see 2s, that's Archangel Azrael. And Azrael, he's here for the duality. He's the angel of death. He's the angel of change. He often comes in wearing black leather biker gear and he's on a motorcycle. And other times you see him in like a black gauzy gown with a sickle. And he's there, to cross someone over. Really, you're ever to do a self inventory and say, I'm really ready to look at the parts of me that I'm ready to do my shadow work, or you're in the dark night of the soul. Azrael is there in love to hold you through that because it's like, okay, let's knock out those cabinets and get ready for a remodel. That's Azrael. And he's there for that duality because he knows that if he were to unzip that biker outfit underneath, he's got like a rainbow shirt. He's both. So I notice him with the 2s. And then angels in general love to send numbers that repeat. So we'll notice and look them up. They communicate that way because those numbers have vibration. Not only do the numbers make sense, but if you're seeing certain numbers, see how they map out in the alphabet. If you keep seeing 2, 7, 9, well, what would that be in the alphabet? Does it spell initials that are a family member? Is it the initials of your angel? So sit with that. See, is it, okay, what's the second letter in the alphabet? What's the 7th letter in the alphabet? It brings in conversations with your angels. What are you trying to show me? What are the letters that are assigned to those numbers? Because letters have frequency as well.
And if you were to invoke certain angels, are there any numbers that you can tell us?
3 and 6 and 9, the trifecta. There's something about the trifecta. They love 3, 6, and 9 because it's found in sacred geometry. And when we sit in our aura, it completes the aura, it completes the circle. So you can chant 369, 369, and also, to go another idea, the octave, the 8, the infinity. When you call in the 8, when you use 8, when you imagine the number 8 or you chant 8 and you see it move to the side and turn to the infinity symbol, what you're doing is you're calling every angel to the table, and they send a representative of all the different realms that would suit you best. So when you're using the number 8 or infinity, it's like you're sending out the bat signal, and your personal guides will then decide who is best for you at that moment to assist your guardian angels for you. Could be an archangel, could be a worker angel, it could be a blend of so many angels, but that's what you're sending out. And you don't ever have to worry if you're asking for too much. It doesn't matter. We can't ask for too little or too much. It's all sacred to them.
Sometime back, you had mentioned that you have seen incarnations on other star systems as well. So,
Yeah.
can you talk a little bit about that, and what is the difference between starseeds and angels?
Starseeds and angels, they vibrate. Their frequency is quite similar. You could even say close to the same neighborhood. But they are from different places. Those star seeds are from different star planets. So we have Pleiades, we have Lyra, different planets, and people are starting to discover that nobody here is human. We're all from someplace. And we've all come to planet Earth as our classroom. And so we're starting to discover, oh, that's where you're from, and that's where you're from. And there are so many planets that we have not yet begun to talk about. So the starseed planets, they're different galaxies, and we're all from someplace. And I just happen to be from the Angelic Realm. So the Angelic Realm, that's its own thing. And then we have all these planets that are their own thing. And when you want to incarnate, you work with your guides and you decide, well, what serves you best? And how can you be of service? There are those two questions. And in that conversation, you look at the places where you can incarnate and see what matches you the most. And if you're coming to Earth, it's because you want to put together lifetimes of learning into one, because this dimension is so beautifully dense. And it's also where all of the lower frequencies are kept. So this isn't the lay on the hammock and bask in the sun lifetime, although that exists here, but there are planets where that's all you do. It's a restoration lifetime, or you learn how to just restore communication with a loved one on another lifetime. So you literally are just enjoying walks in the park. It's just bliss. There are planets for that. Earth is the only planet where you come where there's disease, there's hunger. So if you're here, if you found yourself here, well, you chose it. You chose it because this is to bring you balance. It's to help you learn. So I have access to all my other lifetimes as an angel. You know, when I walk around my house, I don't remember them, but if I turn my frequency in meditation, I can easily go into all of them. And what I notice is Earth is like an on-off button. You can go into the timeline that's been open for a while, which is the 5D timeline. You can see and exist in that quite easily. Or you can go into the 3D timeline, which is very, very loud and seems quite real. But there's two existences on Earth, almost like there's two planets. But yeah, I'd say the difference between the starseeds and angelic is just a vibrational frequency, but they're very similar. And everyone was created by God. Everyone's spark of life, God. And then there's some decision, where do you go to first? And that's the origin.
Yeah. So when you talked about seeing lifetimes on other star systems, do you also work actively with extraterrestrials? I understand there are a lot of ETs here already in human form, and there is a massive disclosure that is going to happen next year. So what's your understanding about that, and how do you work with, let's say, Pleiadians or Arcturians or other star systems?
There are several galactic councils that meet regularly that have been planning the help that is here and will continue to be rolled out. It began in 2012 when I talk about the two timelines, what we are calling the 5D timeline, that timeline opened up massively in 2012. And part of that opening up was the extraterrestrial being brought in, and the bringing in of those extraterrestrials came from this like whoosh of prayer. People saying, we need help, we want help, and we're ready for help. And the extraterrestrials had been here, well, since Earth was created. But several times they had been here, the help that they had offered, an agreement had been made with Earth, people of Earth, and then after that agreement was made, it got changed secretly, and the resources that they offered were used for something nefarious. And that's caused them to step back and be very suspicious. But this time, the help that they're giving will not go directly to organizations or governments. It's going to go to the regular people. So what we're seeing in media, for example, is this beautiful slow disclosure where people who create movies and songs are getting downloads and just gently putting them into their plots. We're seeing some scary stuff that the extraterrestrials don't like, but we're seeing more of the extraterrestrials who are figuring out how to wear blue jeans and how to shop at the grocery store, because that's what it's going to be like. And also storylines of extraterrestrials who have been here forever and their neighbors are discovering, oh, you're one of them, but I've known you forever. Okay, we can do this. Those storylines, because that's the way it's going to be gentle. I mean, weird, but it's going to be gentle because they're here to help. They're going to help us remember who we are inside. They're going to help us come out of trances that we've been put in, that have numbed our frequencies, and they're going to help our bodies be okay with that. They're going to be our healers, because when we really remember in our human form our capabilities, it'll be a shock to our system, and they're here to help us be healthy through that and move back into our psychic gifts. They're also here to be the liaisons between the people and the governments, plural, in all the countries, so that when we, as a people, just a public, as we grow into our sovereignty, we won't be held back this time. We won't have a group of people putting us under their thumb. It happened in Atlantis. When people grew, yeah. Yes. And they said it won't happen again. And that's why they're coming. So it's soon. And I get to often just be the fly on the wall. They invite me in to listen. So I know. And I don't always know why I get to know, but it's kind of like, well, we'll let you know when you need to know. It's kind of that. And they will just kind of tap on my window at night and say, hey, you need to watch this. So I'll go to my window or I'll go out to my deck and I'll see them outside, or they'll be at the foot of my bed and they'll say, hey, I gotta tell you something. They'll show me something about the world. It's wonderful. And they've been visiting me since I was a little kid. So it's not that weird for me to see them, although I don't love I wake up and they're right there. That's not great. But I mean, it's the same when when my kids were little and they'd be right there, like, Mama, can I have a drink? I'm like, okay, wake me up a little. That's
Right.
scary, but
Yeah, and you talked about predictions because you were shown all the wars
Mhm.
and the floods and everything. So, what's going to happen exactly in 2025 onwards? Because I understand that there is an active timeline split that is happening right now, 3D Earth versus 5D Earth, and it's a vibrational split. But people who have chosen not to ascend are falling out of our lives, those who are ascending. And
Yes.
so, if we were to give an urgent message to our audience today as to what they need to do right now, as the split is happening, and what are the predictions, and what should all of us do in this?
The split is done, and the timeline is firm. Timeline is open. We are on it. If you're hearing this message, you're on the right timeline. You're there. Enjoy it. Breathe into it. Let your frequency vibe with it. And when you are feeling the real feelings of the 3-dimensional timeline, that's okay. It is still around. It is like leaves decaying that have fallen from the tree. You can be aware without judgment. It's the release of the old timeline. The urgent message from the realm is that as the old leaves decay, we are responsible for the grieving and the suffering of those who are decaying with it. And so lift them up in brother and sisterhood and know that you are to hold space for them, but you are not responsible to pull them onto the timeline. Love them, but you are responsible for you. That will be very, very important. They're showing me individuals on the timeline, but not holding hands with anyone else and pulling them on the timeline. And when I ask why, they say, because in truth, we are all one. There is no need to pull anyone else because we're learning that we're all connected. And the beauty of the timeline is the more we let ourselves be in the timeline, the more we will realize our true connection. We'll begin to see each other as one being, one love. And it will not just be a spiritual idea, it will become our truth. There are actors at play, there are people, beings at play who know this is happening and that this can't be stopped. There's no way the 5D timeline will be stopped. It's already here. There's no way. And yet there are forces at play who are trying to stop it or slow it down. And they're saying, keep your heart, keep your eyes on the prize. And the anecdote, they're in fear and they're scared to be abandoned. So the anecdote for fear is love. And love is not weak or meek. Send your love like holy fire. Angels, but how? What is the process? Notice, okay, so we'll have war, we'll have attacks, we'll have weather events, we will have bombing, we'll have a lot of stuff coming up in the timeline, and we'll have responses that people are going numb from it. This is because it's the end of the 3D timeline, and we are not to go numb from it. We are not to say, well, that's how people are. That is not appropriate. We are to go into the heart and the pituitary gland of the perpetrator as those who can channel, and we are to say, little one who hurt you, let's transmute that hurt. Because we are to remember that those who hurt are still us. Those who hurt others still belong to us. And those who have been hurt, they belong to us too, and we're supposed to love all. That's the big challenge right now.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
So we keep sending love and light to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when we're so mad because they've bombed a classroom or something like that. That's what we're asked to do.
Right. But you said we are already in 5D and it cannot be stopped.
We are.
So we need to focus on that we are in 5D, we are in the right timeline, especially whoever is listening to this conversation is definitely on the 5D. Focus on that and keep sending love to whoever is suffering and going through pain.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. That was beautiful.
My pleasure. Our pleasure.
I have a few questions that I ask all my guests. Can I ask you those?
Yes.
If you were to explain multidimensional soul to anyone, how would you explain it?
I would say that Source loves us so much that when we were created, God said, I want to keep you, but I love you so much, go explore. And that love exploded into an infinite amount of fractals, like facets of a diamond. My cat is meowing at me. Every time I get asked a multidimensional question, it makes my cat go wild. Every time. That's so weird. It must be an alien or something.
Understand. Cats have extrasensory perception.
Yeah. So that's my understanding. That's my heart, that when we're so loved that we just like hugged so much that we went and exploded into all these beautiful prism-like facets so that we can experience as much of this universe, multiverse as we can. And then as we experience it, we're also reflecting it back to God. God is growing. God's still learning. God's still growing, still speaking. Yeah, that's what it means to me. And I don't totally understand it, but that's my heart.
Yeah. What is holistic well-being?
Loving all of it and not being afraid of loving all of it. Loving the mind, the ego, the body, the spirit, and being brave enough to let all of those weave together and knowing that, okay, tomorrow I might not feel very spiritual. Okay. Yeah. But I am still growing. There's still a layer of me always growing spiritually. And that if I want to have a bag of Cheetos and ice cream for dinner, that's okay. I'll be holy tomorrow.
Okay. If you were to change anything about our education systems, what would you change?
We have 5 more hours. Let me say this. I would ask the children, what do you need? What do you desire? And then I would start there and I'd let them be silly. So because I want them to have a safe and silly environment, we would just start by playing for a while. And then, because we need to get back in tune with their spirit. And then honestly, I would talk to their guides and I would ask to get into their timeline and ask their future selves, what does this little one need from the start to help you get to where you're going? And how do we help their helpers to help them? How do we reconstruct this so it is this holistic Gestalt approach to help, because we have this wise soul and this little body. How do we redesign this so it is for the spirit? That I would ask a lot of questions.
Wow.
I would go in the inner's heart and ask.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. What is the ultimate purpose of life?
Love. To remember that we are love and that we are we were never separate from God. We're not separate from each other. And we are here to experience ourselves through each other, and therefore God.
What is love?
You are love.
Yeah, we all are love. What is self-love?
I'm still figuring that out.
Okay. And what's your parting message for our audience today?
Extreme gratitude. Well, I can feel your listeners for letting me be me and for choosing to be on earth at this time. You're doing well. Thank you from the Angelic Realm. Don't give up. We know that things don't always seem okay. Look deeper. The timeline is exactly where it's supposed to be because of you, because of the listeners, because of you, because of me. We're doing the work. And we've had incarnations where we've done this interview before. We have tried to rebuild the cities and it hasn't worked. But here we are. And they're saying the timeline is firm. It's happening no matter what. We did it. We are doing it.
How can people connect with you?
They can go to my podcast, which is called Angel Talk, and it's on the mindbodyspirit.fm network or wherever they get their podcasts. And also on my website, rachelcorpus.com. My last name is spelled like Corpus Christi, Texas, Corpus. It actually is my last name. People always wonder that, rachelcorpus.com. And I'm on Facebook and Instagram and all the places too. So
amazing. We'll provide all the links in the video description so people can reach you. You're doing amazing work. And thank you. And thank you, angels, for doing this work with us. Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to be with you today.
Same here. And I look forward to hosting you again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching and listening in wherever you are in the world. As Ramdas says, that we all are just walking each other home. So thank you for co-creating the new earth along with me and our guests. And if you resonate with me, do subscribe to my channel and do let us know how you find our episodes. Thank you so much. Lots of love.